If it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's how I see Super Mario Galaxy 2. At least, that's how I see it now, at the age of 17, after playing both games countless times. But that wasn't always the case. When I first played Super Mario Galaxy 9 years ago, I was hooked. I had always had an interest in video games before that, but that was the game that made me realize that this was something I really liked doing. After spending about a year playing this game every day, I learned that there had been a second game the whole time. I found some videos on YouTube of people playing the game and I was blown away. New stars, new power-ups, new music, Yoshi? I just couldn't believe that there is a completely new game, at least to me, like the one I had just played. As you can see, this game is very special to me, probably even more so than the original, just because of the excitement I felt before playing it. Even though the game doesn't feel as different from the original as it did when I was younger, I still have a really good time replaying it, even immediately after finishing Galaxy 1. In this video, I would like to revisit Super Mario Galaxy 2 and come up with my 10 favorite stars in the game. Just like in the previous ranking, this will be an entirely subjective list. I'm only ranking these stars and how much I like them, not necessarily by difficulty or originality, even though those are factors that aid me in determining my favorites. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started with the list. At number 10 on this list, and probably the thermometer as well, we have Bowser on Ice from the chilly Freezy Flake Galaxy. This is one of those levels that just makes you feel so happy. The majority of this star just feels warm and cozy, especially this cabin at the beginning, despite being in such a cold location. Cold levels in video games either make me feel cold as if I were there, or nice and warm as if I were huddled up by the fireplace and the level was outside my window. This star reminds me of waking up on a weekday, seeing the ground covered in snow, and knowing that school was cancelled. Good times. In terms of actual gameplay, this one's solid. It's pretty short, you just melt this big Bowser statue, go through this really cool looking ice tunnel, melt some snow bricks, and melt another statue. Believe it or not, I didn't realize you can make little bridges across the lava with these snowballs until I recorded this footage. I like the feeling I get when I make these bridges. It feels like I jumped in a hot tub after standing outside in cold weather for an hour. I know that's very specific, but you get what I mean, right? There's not a whole lot going on in this star, which is why it's only number 10, but the happiness that this level brings me makes up for its lack of gameplay. On the other side of the emotional spectrum, from the calm and cozy Bowser on Ice, we have the Magnificent Magma Sea from the Melty Monster Galaxy. Ironically, this is the only star in the galaxy that's actually lava-themed, as the other two are both bowling levels. But this star makes up for the lack of lava in the other two by overloading this level with it. You got lava planets, lava monsters, mobile lava monsters, lava waves, and, of course, lava bubbles. This star's pretty difficult, especially this part where you have to try to get yourself to the launch star using the pole stars, while also dodging the magmargs. It takes a few tries. This part with the lava waves and the poles is fun, even though it's probably the easiest part of the level. The ending of this star is extremely intense, even though it doesn't even have a boss fight. You have to hop from planet to planet without getting charred by the magmas or magmargs. It's a very stressful ending to an already adrenaline-filled level, and it does a great job fitting the theme of the first star in the final world, and that gives it the 9th spot in this list. Okay, we're back to calm levels now. My 8th favorite star in Super Mario Galaxy 2 is Cosmic Cove's first star, Twin Falls Hideaway. This level is just breathtaking. All the underwater scenery is a joy to take in, the music is just gorgeous, and the atmosphere is unique and mysterious. I like the idea of a beach-themed level at night. I know it's not really nighttime, but the dark background makes it feel like it. Also, the star's not afraid to show off its beauty. Look at this Slink star here. Hey, there's no shame in showing off, especially when you have a valid reason to. Everything seems to be at peace in this galaxy. Until you freeze the lake, it really didn't feel right trapping all those penguins down there. Hopefully it unfreezes soon, right? All more questioning aside, wall jumping between two frozen waterfalls is something I never expected to see in a video game, and this star is the honor of being the first. Our next stop on this trip down memory lane is a star from a galaxy that is super special to me, the Supermassive Galaxy. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the Secret Star, in full bloom. Super Mario Galaxy 2's Secret Stars weren't as great nor as prevalent as the ones in Galaxy 1, but this one has the honor of being the best one, in my opinion. Most of this star is the same as the galaxy's main star, with the only difference being the ending. As you fly through launch stars, making your way to the end of the main star, if you pause your violent shaking of the Wii Remote, you will be rewarded with a small empty planet. If you walk around on this planet, flowers will go right under your feet, and the planet will go from being a lifeless green orb to a colorful spherical garden. After planting the garden, a vine will grow, leading you to the star, which has been there the whole time. I always found it funny how the star was just floating there in the middle of nowhere, and the only way to get to it was to swing across this vine. I guess it mixes things up a bit. Now let's talk about why this galaxy is so special to me. The first video I ever uploaded on this channel was a video showing off the infinite lives trick found in this galaxy. I uploaded that 8 years ago from when this video was uploaded, and every time I played this galaxy, I'm reminded of that. That old video is pretty terrible, but it serves a sentimental purpose in my heart, and I'm proud to keep it on this channel. It feels kinda surreal playing this galaxy on my channel again, after all this time, but here we are. The star felt very satisfying to collect as a little kid, because it rewarded patience and paying attention, characteristics that I didn't always have. When I stopped shaking my Wii remote for a second and found these flowers instantly growing, I felt like a genius. It's the exact feeling video game secrets should give the player, and because of that, this star makes this list. At number 6, we have the star that I consider to be the turning point of the game. I don't know about you, but it feels like World 5 is much more serious than the worlds that come before it, with the intense world map music and the more faraway feeling background. Okay, maybe it's not much of a turning point. It is a Mario game after all, but the stars here still feel more serious than in other worlds, and there's no better evidence for that than the first star in World 5, Follow Me Bob-omb, from the Space Storm Galaxy. I feel like I'm saving the world when I'm playing this star. It feels so important. Just listen to this music. The titular Bob-omb following part's a lot of fun too, since it's pretty unique and clever. The ending is probably the most stressful ending to a star in this game, even more so than the Magma Sea star. These cannons shoot electric balls at you that follow you as you try to get away. You gotta be careful, those balls are relentless. I had around 5 or 6 balls chasing me before I got to the star. The star is one of the most intense and dramatic levels in Mario, and that makes it very memorable for me, giving it the number 6 spot in this video. The second half of this list starts with what I consider to be the definition of eye candy. Bulberry's Mysterious Glow from the Sweet Mystery Galaxy is an appetizing level in both its theming and level design. You use the Bulberry to reveal hidden pastry paths to progress through the level. It's pretty easy, but it's so cool seeing the radius of your Bulberry effect shrink. I like the sound effect it makes when it disappears completely. One thing I don't get is why these enemies feel the desire to eat Yoshi's face like that. We're standing on a giant chocolate bar. Maybe he's allergic to the chocolate. If that's true, then I pity him living here. The ending of this star is very strange. There's a giant present box that opens up to reveal a giant cake. The cake then shrinks into nothingness, and you have to use the Bulberry to see it again and get the star. This had me thinking, what if the Bulberry is some sort of time travel item, sort of like the time shift stones from Skyward Sword? Maybe it brings you back in time to when the cake was there a few seconds ago? That would also explain seeing through these chocolate bar wrappers. It's like it's revealing the time before the chocolate bar was wrapped at the factory. I know I'm overthinking this, but this just proves why this star is so great. It's weird, it's surreal, it's like a dream. That's what makes it so interesting and memorable, and what gives it the 5th place spot on this list. Time to play some Sonic. Well, not really, but this star comes close enough. The Dash Pepper is a ton of fun to use, and I couldn't think of any better way they could have shown it off than Hytale Falls Galaxy's Hot Step and Dash Pepper. This level is themed entirely around running up walls. It has a good difficulty progression. You start by running up this baby ramp, then you move on to this tall straight wall, then you move on to these sideways walls, and then finally, sideways walls with a lot of obstacles. The background is cool as well. The start takes place in the middle of a giant circle of waterfalls. It kinda reminds me of Yoshi Falls from Mario Kart DS, sorta. But it makes sense though, both are Yoshi themed. I'm probably just overthinking things again, but regardless, this star is extremely fun and fast paced, and is an absolute joy to play. The Slipsand Galaxy is my favorite desert level in any Mario game, and its first star, Squizzard's Sandy Sinkhole, is a very unique and memorable level with a challenging boss at the end. The first thing that stands out about this star is that it's much darker than most desert levels. It's interesting to see a desert in a video game that doesn't have the sun in your face the whole time. It gives a different atmosphere. There are also these monstrous structures in the background of the galaxy, such as this massive pyramid and these huge towers. They kind of remind me of Tower of the Gods from Wind Waker. They're so intimidating, and they give the whole galaxy an unusually important atmosphere to it. The gameplay is pretty original as well. You spend a lot of the star wading through this fast-flowing sand, until later you do the opposite and slide down this increasingly narrowing slide. These eerie-looking smiling rolly guys. They kinda look like the slight smile emoji that I love so much. At the end, you fight Squizzard, who does put up quite the fight. The trick is to spam fireballs when he opens his mouth, without trying to dodge his projectiles, since you'll be able to burn them. The bombs are all bark and no bite as long as you stand close to Squizzard. After you defeat him, you'll be able to snag the 3rd place star in Super Mario Galaxy 2. If I was asked to show one thing, whether it be from a video game or not, that portrays the calm before the storm feeling, it would be the Slimy Spring Galaxy. This is the last galaxy before the final showdown against Bowser, but instead of going for an intense and exciting level, this star, the Deep Shell Well, goes for an ominous but also relaxing and calm atmosphere. The star takes place in some sort of old, overgrown well system, filled with snoodles, mines, and even some booze at the end. It has a very cool looking background. It looks like this well was built in a large open cave. It feels very different from other areas in the Super Mario Galaxy games, because instead of taking place on a planet floating in space, it's in an enclosed area, giving the whole galaxy a spooky, almost claustrophobic feel. But the unpleasantness of the flooded well makes the ending of the level feel so beautiful and refreshing. I'll show you a little bit of the ending so you can see what I mean. This is my favorite location in any Mario game, and because of that, I had to give this gold star a silver medal, narrowly missing 1st place only due to the slow gameplay. Don't get me wrong, the slowness of this level works well with its theming, but in the end, a faster level with more exciting gameplay will always come out on top. My favorite star across both Mario Galaxy games is the Flip Out Galaxy's main star, Wicked Wall Jumps. Remember when I was talking about the calm before the storm feeling? Well, this is the final galaxy before the Grandmaster Galaxy, so it sure gives off that feeling as well. But what makes this star so great is the fact that despite it being at the very end of the game, it introduces a fun new mechanic. The whole level is themed around these blue and red blocks that push out of the wall when you shake the Wii Remote. It's got a very well designed difficulty curve. It starts off by having you shake to pass through walls that are obstructing your path. Then it has you worrying about the floor as well. Then the platforming becomes more involved with larger jumps and enemies. Then the last part of the level gives you increasingly complex wall jumps that you have to perform, until you have to wall jump between red and blue walls, where you have to shake between every jump. It's a ton of fun, and one of the most satisfying stars to nab in the game. The fact that Nintendo decided to put in such a unique and clever level at the end of a world full of rehashed bonus levels was a welcome surprise, and it's a good incentive for me to try the 100% any game I play, so I don't end up missing out on the fun late game bonus areas. It's also got a great atmosphere. The music that plays is so trippy. The level's filled with spiders, bunnies, and choppas, which is a pretty random assortment of inhabitants. This makes the star feel like something you'd dream about, and the fact that it actually exists in the game is unbelievable. It truly deserves the #1 spot on this list, and the high honor of being my favorite Mario level of all time. This list was actually a lot easier for me to make than the one for Galaxy 1. The stars weren't as consistently great as the ones in the first game, which helped the really good ones stand out more, and it led to me having a stronger opinion about them as well. I also found the best stars in this game to be better than the best in Galaxy 1. I'm a pretty positive person, so these great stars heavily outweigh the nutbar ones. Now that I think about it, Super Mario Galaxy 2 might be my favorite of the two games, just because of how much more the great stars stand out in this game than in the other. Both games are still very close though, and I enjoy playing them every time I put the disc in the Wii. If you have anything constructive to say in the comments section, please do so. I'd love to see what everyone thinks about this video, whether it be positive or negative. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.